Have you ever thought about what a perfect day would look like? What about if you are in or near retirement? What could the perfect retirement look like? Joining us to discuss this is Gary Mattson and Laurel Steward, the father-daughter team at Mattson Financial Services, our sponsor. They're a firm that's been helping people retire successfully in West Michigan for decades. You can also catch them on their popular radio show, Money Mentors. And so, Gary and Laurel, what would your perfect day look like?
I'll let you start.
I've had it actually, is that waking up at 5 a.m., going out and seeing the African safari animals, having a cup of hot chocolate out there, and then slowly drifting back to the camp to have a breakfast made.
That sounds wonderful.
Yes.
I can envision it already. For me, mine's a little bit similar with the fact of, because I have little ones, so a really hot cup of coffee in the morning to sit with.
To wake up.
Yes. And then we live where my grandparents' farm is now, and so we get to see the beautiful sunrises and sunsets and just being out gardening. I think, it's really important for us to be outside, so that's a lot of my, mindfulness and just taking it all in.
Yeah, and I know that this is an important question that you ask your clients because you help people create that sound retirement, which means perfect days, a lot of perfect days, hopefully. And so how do you help people craft that plan?
I think just like we were talking about in the beginning, the what if question, A lot of times people do come to us and they have an idea. There are some, which I'm sure you can talk about, that are like, you know what? Mine is just not answering to somebody else, not having an alarm clock. Like I don't know what yet. And that's where we kind of talk about, well, what is the what if for you? What drives you? What are some of your passions? And some of the gentlemen that we've seen will say, I like to tinker around or work on automobiles. And we've helped a couple, realize that they wanted to open up their own shop. Different things like that.
So what is your process at Mattson Financial and how you create that? What are those first steps that people take when they come to see you or a team member?
Yeah, the big thing for us is understanding what that perfect day or perfect retirement looks like. So we tell clients all the time, forget about money. Don't worry about taxes or anything right now. Just tell us what retirement means to you. What is the perfect retirement? And then doing this for 33 years, we've picked up great tips from our clients.
Yeah, I bet you've heard a lot.
And they're awesome. That's what's so fun about it.
And so this one couple, which I still use today, and they've been doing it for years, they've been our clients, is that every Thursday, they both do their own thing. So just, I don't have to answer to you, you don't answer to me. If I want to go to the show, if I want to go do this, I want to sleep in, the Thursday is their individual day, and that's what they chose for themselves.
Out of office, right?
Yeah. Checking out, go fishing, whatever. Go with the buddies, whatever that happens to be. And there's others that say, I just want to have it where I don't have to have pressures, like Laurel said, of doing something that day. But others are like, no, I want to give back. I want to be doing something with people. Teachers tutoring special needs children. Or we had an attorney that actually just went totally the other way and works at a hardware store putting together bikes and barbecues. Just stuff that he can do with his hands. That's a perfect day for him is, hey, I've got 3 or 4 of those done and having that happen.
Yeah, and I think about that too with one of our client situations with Ruth, because she had met with us. She's been one of your longest clients, since I was little. And then we got to the point, it was probably 3 or 4 years ago, where she had that moment. She said, okay, I'm done with what I'm currently doing. I don't enjoy it. Putting in the final hat to retire. And she actually was with the investments that, she had worked really hard for and what we had helped set her up with. She had more income coming in her now retirement and volunteering time than what she did while she was working. Yeah. And she had that moment of like, I can't believe I've made it here and I get to do the things that I want to and volunteering every day.
Yeah, that's exciting. Well, there's so many different things to focus on when you're creating a retirement plan. Are there certain areas that you focus on at Mattson Financial Services for people?
I would say that, yes, we do that, definitely, but there's also the pitfalls. Sometimes we have clients that want to do too much for their children right in the beginning of retirement. And so as we tell them, we're going to grow this into the plan. And let's make sure that you're covered and we get this flow down and we're comfortable with that. Then as we make more money, those are things you can do, like taking the family on vacations Or we have one client that every year they set up a fund for their children, and anytime they have a shortfall, they can just go to this fund and help themselves, but it helps them just go over some thresholds, the things that they go through. Because again, some of them have children and have those tough times where, you know, it's just not the best month sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, new tires or whatever that is. So it's really driven by the client, what they want to achieve, but it's so much fun for us because it's so individualized, we get to help along the way.
Yeah, and I know that running out of money in retirement is a fear that a lot of people voice to you when talking about that. And that certainly can ruin a perfect day very quickly. How do you get around that?
Yeah, it's really important when we meet with you to talk about, okay, what is the what if? What do you want to do in retirement? Or perhaps you're already retired. Then we're going to look and see at all these things that you've saved and what you've done so far. And then we're going to compare it and say, is there any type of gap? And if so, is there something that we have in our toolbox that will help cover that gap, you know, for that income? And if not, there might be a conversation to say, you know what, Bob, you're here, you're 55. And as you can see, in 3 more years at 58, right, we can get you where you want to go. And sometimes it's just a conversation that people need to just have a checkup as to where I'm at, am I doing those right things to get where I want to be?
Sure.
And sometimes they don't realize some of the control they have, like maybe lowering their advisor fee or getting a little bit better return or lowering their taxes. You know, those are the 3 things that we look at. And generally speaking, if we can save 3 to 5% of cost, those 3 to 5%, on a $500,000 portfolio, that's an extra $20,000, $25,000 a year that a client can use.
That's wonderful.
So it takes that fear away. Fear's false evidence appearing real. So we show you the real facts and saying, you know what, it's okay. We're not going to run out. We can do the things we want to. And that's the fun, because sometimes they just break down giggling, crying, happiness.
Oh, it's so many of the emotional meanings, and they get you too, you know?
Yeah.
Or hooping and hollering, or they're calling their kids up, hey, we're done.
Okay, so hold that. That's the meeting and the outcome that we want. So if people want to get started on that, what do they need to do?
So you can be one of the first 5 callers if you've saved $250,000 for retirement. We'll send you a checklist of some of those items to bring in, like we've talked about, to start looking at, do you have trusts and wills? What about taxes, income, all those different things? And you don't have to be too organized, just bring it all in and we'll help you create that retirement plan.
Sounds good. So for you at home, take advantage of that special offer from Mattson Financial. If you're retiring or already retired, the Mattson team will sit down with you and customize a retirement plan just for you. This is a comprehensive enhanced plan that includes a look at your investments, your income sources, taxes, and so much more to help you get to and through the retirement you deserve. So reserve one of those spots now. Call 800-536-8907. That's 800-536-8907. And so, Laurel, Gary, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Rachel.
Good to be here.
This segment is sponsored by Mattson Financial Services. We'll be right back.